passion, danger, and secrets. What is Beth Cooper really hiding? Brace yourself for a wild ride in today's thrilling recap of I Love You, Beth Cooper. Welcome to Flashback Recap. Hit subscribe and let's dive right in. The movie kicks off with a high school graduation party, introducing us to Denis, who secretly loves the school's beauty, Beth Cooper. Just before the party, his friend Rich advises him to confess his feelings so he won't have any lifelong regrets. When the teacher gives Denis the floor, he sees it as his chance. His speech starts off dull, amusing only his parents, but things take a turn when he boldly confesses his love for Beth. The room is stunned, especially Beth, who barely knows Denis. To make matters worse, her military boyfriend is watching. Denis then urges everyone to voice their unspoken desires and confessions to avoid future regrets. His passionate speech leaves everyone in shock. Outside, the school teacher confronts Denis, initially displeased with his speech. However, reminiscing about her own youthful love, she understands his actions. Beth then approaches Denis, admitting that his confession caught her off guard, but also finding it cute. Feeling hot, she removes her gown, revealing a short t-shirt and shorts that highlight her attractiveness. Rich interrupts their conversation, and as Beth turns to leave, Denis invites her to a party at his house. Beth hesitates, trying to decline the invitation. Suddenly, Kevin, Beth's boyfriend, approaches and strangles Denis. He only releases him when a teacher intervenes on Denis's behalf, after which Kevin leaves. On their way home, Denis and Rich are mocked and called losers. Rich then tells Denis he's straight and likes girls, puzzled as to why Denis thought otherwise. Denis recalls a past incident that led to his assumption but doesn't share it with Rich. The friends then discuss why Rich hasn't had a girlfriend in high school, revealing that Denis hasn't had one either because he never managed to meet someone. For graduation, Denis received an iPod from his parents. Rich, however, reveals that his parents gave him a bill to repay the money he spent, totaling around $250,000. As they prepare for the party, Denis is nervous and checks his t-shirt, deciding to air it out. His parents come home and offer advice about the party, particularly emphasizing the importance of changing his underwear if he wants the evening to go well. They leave the kids with 23 bottles of champagne and their contact number in case of an emergency. Before leaving, Denis's father gives him some final advice to make this summer memorable and to do whatever he wants. He also tells them where the contraceptives are, and the boys get the hint. After Denis's parents leave, he and Rich wait for the guests. Suddenly, a car speeds around the corner and heads straight for them. Beth is driving and she's brought her best friends. As the girls get out of the car, the guys feel a surge of excitement because Beth is incredibly cute. When they enter the house, the girls are surprised that no one else is there, as they have never been the first to arrive at a party. The guys make awkward jokes that the girls don't understand. Beth gets a call from her boyfriend, and Rich and Denis decide to open some champagne to relax. It turns out the champagne makes the girls more receptive and playful. Beth's friends are excited that something is happening, and Rich goes to fetch the protection they were left with. While Denis struggles to open the champagne, Beth talks to her boyfriend on the phone, refusing to tell him her location to prevent him from coming over. Denis accidentally hurts his hand trying to open the bottle. Rich returns with the protection just as the cork shoots out and hits Beth in the forehead. The friends laugh but then quickly move to help her. Beth sits down on top of Denis to put something cold on his hand. As they talk, Denis's arousal builds, which Beth notices and likes. Denis, embarrassed, gets up and hides his arousal. The girls realize what's happening and find it amusing. The girls decide to leave, but as they say goodbye to the guys, they notice another car approaching with Kevin and his friends. The car parks on the lawn and one of the girls goes to meet her boyfriend. Denis quickly takes her inside and locks the door, trying to secure the house. He manages to close all but one window, allowing Kevin to get in. Once inside, Kevin threatens Denis, smashing a vase against the wall and grabbing a bottle of champagne. Denis dodges the bottles, but Kevin throws a microwave into the wall, causing the guys to flee. They lock themselves in a room, searching for weapons and finding only a child's sword. Rich hides in the closet while Denis hides behind the wall. When Kevin enters, he notices a picture of Beth above Denis's bed. Denis attempts to fight Kevin, but Kevin wields a skeleton's arms as weapons. Rich jumps out of the closet and out the window. Beth bursts in, stopping Kevin when she sees her picture. Denis heads for the window, but Kevin pushes him into the rose bushes. Denis picks up Rich and they escape over the fence with Kevin in pursuit. Denis runs into the road as a car approaches. Beth hits Denis but then helps him into the car. Rich catches up and they all get in as Beth speeds away. Beth turns out to be a terrible driver. Rich remembers their driving lessons and realizes they're still in danger despite being thankful for the rescue. Denis tries to call his parents, but they are busy, and his father humorously puts the vibrating phone down his wife's pants. Realizing they can be tracked, Beth throws the phone out the window. They turn on music, and the group starts to party, singing and dancing in the car. They arrive at a gas station where Beth suddenly brakes, causing Rich to fall between her legs. Beth and Denis go to buy beer, and Denis compliments Beth, which she enjoys. However, they're initially refused alcohol because they're still in high school. Beth convinces the clerk to sell them beer. With a passionate kiss, which disillusions Denis as he overhears the exchange. When they reach the woods, they set up a bonfire and try to have some fun. Beth treats Denis to a beer and shows off by opening the bottle with her teeth. Denis attempts the same but ends up breaking a tooth. Romantic music plays and the girls enjoy the atmosphere. Realizing the couple needs some alone time, the friends wander off and encounter some cows, deciding to take one down for fun. Denis shares his future plans, including the university he plans to attend. Beth asks why Denis seems disappointed in her. Denis replies that his ideal Beth Cooper wouldn't make out for 12 cans of beer because she's worth more than that. Meanwhile, their friend's attempt to take down a cow backfires as all the cows start chasing them. Back at the car, they recount their adventure, and Beth notices a foul odor emanating from Rich, who left his sneakers behind after the cow incident. They pile into the car and head off, with Beth driving dangerously and even turning off the headlights at one point. When she turns the lights back on, they immediately crash into another car, which turns out to be Denis's parents. The group sees what Denis's parents are up to and quickly drives away. They arrive at a party and the girls head to the pool while the guys notice Beth talking to someone else. Denis heads to the bathroom, where he encounters Greg, whom he had insulted at the reunion. Denis finds the right words to say, and Greg, feeling misunderstood, starts crying. They gradually become friends, and Greg hugs Denis, making him feel better. Denis returns to his friend, and they grab some food and punch. A classmate approaches them, complimenting Denis's speech at the prom. Upon learning that Kevin is at the party, Denis tries to escape but runs into Beth. They spot Kevin making out with someone else, leading Beth to dump him. She picks up Denis and his friend, formulating a plan to help them. Kevin wants to beat up Denis, but Denis asks the people around him for help. The landlady intervenes, telling Kevin to teach Denis a lesson. Suddenly, the school coach steps in and sets the rules for the fight. Denis tries to give up, not wanting to fight, but Kevin hits him anyway. Greg steps in to defend Denis, knocking out Kevin and the other two guys, but ultimately gets overpowered. Beth arrives in a car, picks up her friends, and they drive off, screaming in excitement. Beth decides to head back to the school for more fun. Since the girls are cheerleaders, they start dancing for the guys. However, Beth gets sad and they head to the showers. Rich goes to get them, and Denis enters the locker room, finding his beautiful classmates in towels. Beth approaches Denis and drops her towel. Her friends invite Denis to swim with them, and he agrees, ready to join his classmates. As the girls call out to their friends, Denis is left alone and found by Kevin. Rich comes to the rescue, saving Denis. The girls run out of the shower, heading to the car, and notice that Rich has no pants. Meanwhile, Rich fights off his attackers, revealing he has been practicing fighting with towels since childhood, and defeats them all. He finally joins his friends, who are waiting for him by the car. On the way, they discuss how it all started, with Denis sharing everything he knows about Beth. His friends give him tampons to stop his nosebleed. Beth reveals that she and her friends initially thought attending Denis's party would be a fun joke, but things didn't go as planned, especially with Denis now having a broken nose. She tells him to take off his shirt because it smells, and as she airs it out, she accidentally loses it. Beth stops the car abruptly, causing her friend to fall on top of Rich. Denis gets out to search for the shirt, forgetting he's wearing his favorite embarrassing underwear. His friends laugh, but Beth decides to dress him in her cape. As they search for the t-shirt together, they discuss why Beth is dating Kevin and why Denis confessed his love at prom. Denis explains his reasons in detail, which Beth appreciates. They find his shirt, but Kevin takes it for himself, scaring the school kids, who then run away. Rich convinces the girls that he likes them, explaining why he didn't get turned on in the shower. They seduce him by showing how they like to eat cookies, gradually undressing him and leading him to the bedroom. At the same time, Denis tells Beth that tonight will be his most memorable moment from school. Beth reflects that school was the best time of her life and fears the uncertainty that comes after graduation. Denis reassures her, saying everything will be okay, and then he kisses her. The parents clean up the aftermath of the party as the school kids arrive home. Realizing they had seen them the previous night, Denis's mom goes to prepare breakfast. His father supports Denis, glad he had fun, but mentions he should still be punished. For the first time, Denis feels satisfied with how things turned out. Beth and Denis say goodbye, agreeing to meet at their reunion and, if they are still single, to marry each other. The girls get in the car and drive off in their own style.